How's it going today, guys? The last few days I've been doing some work on my, my Bobcat, getting it tuned up. And one of the things I did over the weekend was I had to tighten the alternator belt. Now the Bobcat, things are kind of tight to get to the alternator, and I had a little bit of trouble. So while I did manage to get the alternator belt tightened, it wasn't easy, and it probably took me about 15 minutes to a half an hour of kind of head scratching, trying to figure out how to get it done, because you really had to reach in. It was awkward, to say the least. So today, while I was out driving, I drove by Sears and stopped in, and I ended up picking up a few new tools, which I thought I'd show off to you guys, because maybe you guys enjoy seeing tools. I don't know. But the first thing I just want to show you is the first thing I got was, for the first time in my life, I got myself a ball peen hammer, a nice shiny one. This was the heaviest one they made, and what I've been using if I need to bang something when I'm working is, you know, just the old carpenter's hammer, which I'm pretty sure there used to be a label that said that this thing could shatter. So now I've got my ball peen here, which I can use if I need to persuade something. Very cool. And you know, another tool which I find very handy in the shop is this little Estwing 3-pound sledge. The only reason I have this is because I used to do masonry work, but I will use this maybe once every 2 or 3 months if I need to persuade something. And I know when I did my Bobcat repair, I would gently tap the wrenches to free bolts, always wearing goggles in case something shattered. The next thing I got was this thing here, which is, it's called a ratcheting combination wrench set. And let's see if we can do this without the wrenches falling out. So what happens is where the alternator was, I was kind of reaching forward, and I was using, you know, I was using a regular wrench, and it was tough to get the reach in there, and it was awkward. So the first thing I want you to notice is the length. So it's significantly longer, but then what happens is it's got this little thing in the end. So once you get it around that bolt, you can just keep tightening without having to move it every time. So I was in there trying to tighten that bolt, and it took me forever to get it right. So this is pretty slick. And let me just show you what that looks like in real life. So you would just put it on the bolt, and you could tighten, or if you want to loosen, you just flip it over, and you can loosen as well. Now the one thing, let's tighten that up. The one thing I will say about this guy is, you know, this just doesn't seem very strong. This is the Sears one. There was a brand called Gear Wrench that made them. This is the Sears one. I like the feel of the smooth chrome on it, but this just does not seem very heavy duty. So what I'll probably end up doing is using this end for the torque, for breaking them loose, and then use this end to tighten things up. But this could come in very handy for tight spots. I know on the Dingo there's a bolt. When I take all the shrouds off to clean it every year, there's one bolt in there that's just a bear to get in, and it takes me forever, again, using this way, because you can't even get a ratchet in there. But with this guy, you flip it over, and you're just, you know, you're just zipping that baby off. So I'm looking forward to putting these to use. And I don't know if I'm going to be using these guys all the time, or if I'm going to be using these guys for special circumstances. I guess we'll kind of take it as it comes. But for now, I'm probably going to just tuck them away in a drawer somewhere and know if the situation arises, I got them. And the final thing I got was this bad boy right here. And this is like a pry bar, but the cool thing is if you push it right here, you can you see that? So you push it here, and you can change the angle on it. We're at the back of the Bobcat now. This is the Kubota diesel in the back of the machine. Normally the battery would be sitting over here, but there's a lot of rust, so I'm working on that right now. But right here is the main drive belt, and there's also a shroud that should be here as well, which I took off. So let's see if we can show you how cool this bar works. And actually, let me do this. If you take a look inside, right here, this pulley, this is the tensioner, the belt tensioner, and the way you tension this main drive belt is you loosen this bolt and then you push down right here. So what I was trying to do was bring this in and push down on that, and I just couldn't quite get it. It's a very tricky spot, and this kept slipping off. I don't know if you can see, but there's really no easy way to get that done. Now, with this new tool, though, I came home today and gave it a shot, and all you gotta do is slip it in there. It's got the extra space, so I could use one hand to loosen this bolt and then push up on that and push it down and then tighten that bolt again without worrying about really screwing myself up by banging that into something. It just seems like it's a total game changer. I wonder if that would make a difference if I use a different angle. So now I got a little bit different angle. I don't like that angle. I think it was better straight. So we would just slide that in. And I don't know if you can see it or not, but you see this little arrow here? This little arrow should be right where it is perfect, but it should be somewhere between like 1 and 3 o'clock without having this bottom out. If this bottoms out, we'd have to get a new bolt, new belt. But you know, I was fighting that tooth and nail, and with this tool, I think it's going to be a heck of a lot easier. So that was just my little tool show and tell. I don't know. I just, you know, I get frustrated because I know there's a better tool. Whenever I go to a shop to pick up a piece of equipment, if I see mechanics using things, these gear wrenches, I saw a mechanic undo a battery once, and I'll never forget thinking, wow, that was cool. So that's why I got those, because when I was having trouble over the weekend, this guy here, I knew there had to be a better way, and you know, Bobcat makes a special tool for that belt, but this tool probably costs less than the Bobcat tool, and it can be used for other things. So that made sense. And then the ball peen hammer, just every time I use the carpentry hammer, I'm just like, Jesus, there's gotta be, that's not the right tool for the job. So now I have a ball peen hammer. But I don't know, guys, I hope you enjoyed our little tool show and tell, and thanks for watching. We'll see you soon. And then we're gonna put our spring over here, this little cover. There's a little pin on this piece here to line up the gasket.